What's up, everybody? It's Stephen Williams, founder and president of the creditrepairshop.com. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the debt that's being sold on the market. But once again, we got a big number here. Um, we're going to talk about the solution again because, I know that people might think that I'm very repetitive with this stuff, but you have to be. And I'm going to tell you why. And then we're going to get into some stuff about personal development. But first, right here, look at that 193,809 eight 193 million, I'm sorry, 193,809,248 and 26 cents. Got the sign right here, made a scan of it. You can see that this is a mix of national credit cards, 31,038 accounts, 31,038 people. Average charge off was 2007. I'm sorry, charge off 2004 to 2010. Average balance $6,244.25. And they're selling it for 0.000, 0.000 and a 2 cents on the dollar. That's what they're selling this for. So you can see why a debt collector would take a risk on this. If they called someone up and they said you owed $6,244.25, but we want to give you a settlement offer for just $1,000. If a person didn't know any better, they could end up taking that offer and they would have not had to pay anything at all. So let's first talk about the solutions to this, and then we'll get into our other stuff. Uh, I want to use an analogy though to explain why I say stuff over and over and over, and some of it is the same thing. And it's because a lot of you don't get it all the way in your head, or you don't internalize it. We live in a society where it's fast food this, it's look at only the headlines that nobody's really reading and understanding and learning. So that's what makes me have to do that, because I hear it over and over where people had said, when it came their time, they were like, they just did not know. And some people here, viewers here on YouTube, have heard me say what I'm about to say now about what to do with this. But when it came to their time on having an issue like this, it's like their mind just went blank and they ended up getting into trouble with, on a debt. And the analogy that I want to use again, and I've used it before, was the football. When I was watching, uh, it was the inside. I think one of the NFL shows on HBO, and uh, where they follow a team, and the quarterbacks, what they do is they drop. When they're practicing, they drop back and they throw this short pass. Like the receiver or the running back, they only run like about 5 yards. They cut to the left or right, and the quarterback throws them the ball. And it was like anyone can make that play. Do you want to know that uh, watching football, watch a lot of football. I have in my house, I have a room that has three TV screens, and I have different games on each of the screens. And do you know that when one of the most missed plays that I see from younger quarterbacks is that actual pass, where it was so simple and so routine that from the way that they practiced, they performed the same way when they got on the field and they missed that throw, like an easy throw. So what I'm doing is we're this is repetitive exercise. This is exercising your brain on what to do when that day happens, or if that day is happening to you right now, where a debt collector sends you a letter and it says you have 30 days to respond to this letter, or we're going to do whatever. We're going to move forward. Or what actually happens when you don't respond to that letter is that you're saying that you owe that debt. Some people think that if they don't respond to the letter, it means that they're saying that they don't owe the debt. It's the actual opposite. The law states that if you don't reply, they can assume that that letter, that demand letter is true. So the first thing that you do when you get a demand letter from a debt collector is you look at your credit reports. If you don't have your credit reports, please go to the website that I provide, the number 3scores.com. Get your credit reports, and I want you to look at that account, the original account. You on the sheet it'll have a debt collector, but I want you to look at the original account owner and look at when they charged off that debt, because this could be the easy way for you to get out of it. If it's and then you go to my website, thecreditrepairshop.com, and you look up the statute of limitations. Every state is different. We were just looking at one today in Florida where someone called and a debt collector is trying to sue them for a debt that's more than 20 years old. When we looked at the statute of limitations for the state of Florida, it's only 4 years. So if they don't have a judgment against you and they have not done any other action where you've either reset the time period, uh, they can't legally come after you for the money. And all you have to do is send them a simple cease and desist letter. And I'm giving you that cease and desist letter right below here. Uh, and once you check that, and if it doesn't, if it's not past the statute of limitations where they can come after you for the money, then the next thing you need to do is a debt validation. These third party debt buyers don't always get all of the information to be able to prove that you legally have to pay the debt. And I'm giving you that letter absolutely free if you want it. Now, let me just rewind a little bit about giving you the letter. You have to give your name, email, because I want to know who is getting the letter. And then I do ask for a donation. And I ask for a donation because I'm a businessman. And that letter really, when we do that service for people, we charge $59 for just one debt collector that we do that for. I'm giving you the letter, and I do ask for a donation. And I, the way that I look at it is that if you want to give a donation, you can, but you're going to get the letter regardless. But yes, I do want you to give a donation because if when I look at it, there's thousands of people who have downloaded that letter, and probably I could say out of maybe 20 people gave a donation. And that, I mean, I don't know what to say. When I made that, I was thinking that that's another way that I can set aside my time because my time is valuable. Set aside my time, and people here that get this valuable information from me here on YouTube would just, if I ask for a donation, whatever amount they're able to do, it doesn't matter. I don't have any specific amount, just to help support the channel and my time for making time to do this for everyone. So that's what that's all about. So now, uh, if it's not past the statute of limitations, I give you that free debt validation letter. Send that to them. Uh, I would say 90%, even more of them, if it's in the category of this one here, or the one that you see right here. If it's in that category, they're going to go away. They're not going to mess with you. All right, well, that's it for that there. Now I want to talk about the very important part about how to piece all of this stuff together. Uh, you're not going to have good credit until you believe you have good credit. And I know that that's very hard for people to understand, but it is true. When I look back at the things that I have in my life, and if you look back at the things that you have in your life, you have what you really believe you should have. The things that you don't believe you should have, you don't have. So if you want to have good credit, you need to believe that you deserve to have good credit, and then let the work and the processes and everything else go through. And I want to use some share with you what on a radio show I was listening to this morning on Joe Madison's show. If you listen to him on XM radio, you probably heard this. The person he was interviewing a person named Cayman Kelly. Uh, this is an individual that is making millions of dollars. He's a voiceover for Monday Night Football, African American gentleman who's a voiceover for Monday Night Football, ESPN. He's on XM radio. He does numerous TV shows. You've heard him on national and local commercials for car dealers, all types of stuff. And he was talking about what had happened. Remember the guy, the man with the golden voice? He was begging for money, teeth missing and everything. He was an ex voiceover person for radio, fell on hard times, uh, got hooked on drugs, and he was at the stoplight asking for money from someone. And he did like a radio voice, and the person videotaped it, posted it on social media, and he got offers and everything to do radio stuff. He did Kraft and some other uh, uh, companies, like they fixed his teeth, everything. I think he turned his life around from it. And this gentleman, Mr. Kelly, who also has a book, Cayman Kelly, from $6 an hour to millions, or $6 to millions. He said he had been doing all types of stuff to be successful in the business, and then he sees this guy who's you know begging for money at the stoplight get an opportunity, and he didn't get the opportunity, and he's been making calls and doing all types of stuff. And that goes back to, you will get what you believe you deserve. And when he pieced it all together, now that he's successful, he's pieced it all together, is that he understands that at that time he was ready with the education, he was ready with the talent, he was ready with the skill, but he wasn't ready with the mindset. And that's what I tell you all the time here, uh, on YouTube. That's what I tell myself all the time. I tell myself when I wake up in the morning, I put myself in the mindset that I need to be in, because I know with all of the distractions that are out there, all of the different things that people try to tell you, if you go to work, the attitudes that other people could have that can bring down your feelings for the day, or can disrupt your good feelings, and how you feel about yourself, because all you see is what other people are going through, all you hear is what they're going through. So you think that that's the normal life for you and the normal life for everybody else, when someone you can look at and you can be like, why the hell is that person so damn happy? What do you have to be happy about? And I can tell you, happiness starts from the inside. And then when you are happy, other people will see that you're happy. And then two things will happen: either you will attract people, or people will reject you. So you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared to think this way, that in essence, when you choose to take full control of your life, you're going to have to cut the bridges behind you. That means that if someone is not on your side, you're going to have to let them go. And you may even have to let go where you're working at, or start doing your plan to exit where you're working at, because you're not, life is too short to sit there and go through stuff like that. If you're not doing what you want to do right now, if you don't have what you want to have, not just with credit, not just with getting out of debt, I'm talking about on the track of having what you want and believing you deserve it, then you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Every morning when I wake up, I think about moving forward with getting more of the things that I want. And I have a lot of the things that I want. So I think even more. This light is getting in my face here. Let me get to a good spot. Okay, so let me tell you some more things that I had heard when he was talking. Is that when he was experiencing his ups and downs for his career when he wasn't getting exactly the jobs and everything that he wanted. And even when he did get some success, there was something that he had said that kind of struck me. And I talk about it with the Napoleon Hill laws of success, is that I believe that some of the times people just want, I don't think they consciously want bad things to happen, but they subconsciously plan bad things to happen. They like, you can accidentally say stuff is going too good right now and something bad has to happen to me. It's like a self sabotage, and he talked about that several times. He was self sabotaging himself. He had said that he purchased a home, like they had built a house, him and his wife, and then the I think he said the next day he lost one of his major contracts, and he sat there thinking, how is he going to be able to afford to pay for the house? And a similar story happened to me, and when I think I had told everyone about it. Similar story happened to me with my publishing business. But he said that he got the house, and then all of a sudden the next day he lost a major contract. And what I've learned what it is, and he uh, said he learned that that's a test to see if you really want it, if you really want it. Because for him, if he could have just quit and said, okay, this stuff just isn't going to work, I can't find anything steady. I can't get anything to just work 100% the way that I want it. What ended up happening for him is it ended up being a better opportunity, better than the company that he had the contract with. With me, what happened with me was with my publishing company, my wife and I had a contract with a grocery store, local grocery store. They were paying us $2,000 a week to distribute flyers for their for the grocery store. $2,000 a week, just around like these neighborhoods around that grocery store. And then we did it one week, and then the next week they canceled it. And it was like, man. And I had quit my job when we got that contract, and I had went and tried to get another job, and they hired me on the spot. And I said right then and there to that individual, to that man, I said, I'm sorry for wasting your time. That I started my own business, and we had lost the contract, and I kind of got a little scared, but I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to give 1,000% to my business. And then I got up and left. And I never worked for anyone else since then. And that was in 1990. 1990. What if I did not do that? What if I would have just took that job and just said, it ain't going to work? I wasn't sure. I didn't know when everything was going to turn around. I just said that I'm going to put in the work, and I had the dream and the vision right here. This same thing works with credit and debt. The same thing works for everything that you try to do in life. The same thought process. The problem is with a lot of people, and you might have this problem, is that you can't allow yourself because you are so afraid of being disappointed. You're so afraid of being disappointed that you won't even allow yourself to just say, let's just go for it. The next thing that comes to people's mind is, well, how long will it take? It's going to take as long as it takes. Everybody is different. So if you're that type of mindset, you're going to get things accomplished. For this gentleman here, I think he was talking about it. It was like 8, 9 years into his career before things took off. There's some of you right now that have so much talent, that so much education, so much talent, and you're really not doing anything with it. And it's not because the opportunity is not available. It's because you won't see the opportunity, because you won't allow yourself to take that opportunity, to take that chance, because you think you got to have all the answers before you do anything. You're afraid of the disappointment. If I was afraid of the disappointment, I wouldn't be sitting right here being able to give you this information. If I was afraid of the disappointment, if I was afraid of all the some of the nasty comments that people even place here, you know, be yourself. When you become yourself, right now, a lot of you are pretending. You're not even who you're not even really projecting to people who you really are. You're like fake. Like you know how some people fake like they're famous and they're fake. You're faking as a regular citizen, you're being a fake person. You need to allow yourself to be and become who you want you to be, not who someone else tells you to be. Because one day you're going to be laying on your deathbed, and your whole life is going to pass in front of you. And when you start looking at the things and the opportunities that you let go by, you're going to say to yourself, "It. What was I afraid of? What was I afraid of? And why was I so quick to want a certain result when I'm, 60, 70, 80, 90 years old, whenever that time comes for you, that you would say, I had all that time and I didn't do nothing with it. I didn't do nothing with it." So I'm going to end the video here, and we're going to be introducing some wealth building, because looking at uh, financial situation of customers, looking at the mindset of customers, looking at the opportunities that are available to people. Some of you are on the verge, if you just got the right alignment in your thinking, that you could be changing your life financially, uh, you know, in a short, very short period of time. Very short period of time. And so I'm going to start talking more about the ways that I invest in the stock market, the ways that I've invested in real estate, the ways that I currently invest in businesses. My strategy is to invest in companies, and then I derive income from those companies. So I'm going to also talk about that too. So if you need help with your credit, please visit our website, thecreditrepairshop.com. If you need your reports and scores, please visit the number 3scores.com. That is one way that we support the channel. If you need the cease and desist letter for statute of limitations on a debt, or the debt validation letter, the link is below this video. And yes, I do ask for a donation, but it is not required. Uh, do what you feel you would like to do. And if you get a letter from a debt collector, do the debt validation. Don't wait, because you're going to allow them to place the information on your credit reports. So until next time, this is Stephen Williams, founder and president of thecreditrepairshop.com. Thank you.